Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippyGaming. So today we're going to be doing a recap of some of the Terraria news that's been floating around for the past couple of weeks now. Unfortunately, outside of YouTube, I kind of had a thing going on, but I'm back now, so let's talk Terraria. So in today's video, we're going to be covering news for Terraria 1.4.1, and for those that don't know, that is the next update that's in development for Terraria. A lot of people get confused about this. Think of this as almost the full stop at the end of Journey's End. Like, this is the last little bit to get the full package, and apparently it's almost ready. We're also going to be talking about some huge developments for console Terraria, and I think console fans are really going to love what I say today. And then we'll be topping it off with a little bit of mobile 1.4. So, with that out the way, let's jump into the recap. So kickstarting this video, we're going to be talking about PC Terraria, and this information actually comes courtesy of Line4s. Line4s, for those that don't know, is the head of QA over at Relogic, and Red and Senex allowed him permission to actually talk about some of the balance changes we're going to see to some of the accessories in the next update. So this is a very long list, so I'm going to run through it pretty quickly. Apparently, the Band of Regen / the Charm of Myths is now going to be twice as fast at healing the player. So this is going to be a healing increase from 0.5 to 1 HP per second. The Band of Star Power and the Pygmy Necklace are now going to be more easily available in all worlds. They're going to be crafted in a graveyard at a Tinkerer's Workshop by taking one of them and combining it with a life or mana crystal. Band of Star Power plus life crystal equals the Pygmy Necklace, and the Pygmy Necklace plus a mana crystal equals the Band of Star Power. The Bone Glove is getting a rework. It's going to be completely overhauled and actually turn from a weapon into an accessory. When equipped, the player will shoot crossbones towards their cursor whenever they are attacking, once per second, considering it like sword projectiles, except it works for every weapon. This is very modded. It seems very modded, but it sounds quite cool. The bones deal 25 class neutral damage, but additionally ignore up to 25 enemy defense. Now has vanity visibility in the glove spot, and in practice, it should allow the Bone Glove to be simultaneously viable for more classes than just range, and also give it a bit more longevity. I don't think this is any surprise, but the Brain of Confusion is going to be nerfed. The critical strike chance bonus of the Mind Trick buff is going to go from 20% to 10%, and it reduces the duration of Mind Trick by 1 second. The Celestial Cuffs will now give a plus 20 mana bonus, and the Diving Helmet plus all of its tinkers have now got a breath capacity bonus of 50%. So this next part is a shake-up to the Titan Glove and the Feral Claws. Now in 1.4, the Titan's Glove allowed the player to have auto swing on melee weapons. That perk has now been taken from the Titan Glove and actually moved to Feral Claws, making it available earlier for players. The perk still continues up the Tinker chain, it is simply no longer present on the Titan Glove. Titan Glove now has a new perk that increases the size of eligible melee weapons by 10%, and this perk is also present on all of the Tinkers. However, this effect does not stack. So this next one completely caught me off guard. It's actually very bold. They're going to be taking an item that has been untouched since it was first added in the original version of Terraria, and they're going to change it. So the Lucky Horseshoe is now no longer going to be found in Sky Islands, and instead you're going to find it underground in golden chests. And that to me seems a little odd. I feel like it directly makes the game a lot easier. I guess you just die from fall damage less. But it now means that you don't have to find a gravitation potion to actually get this pretty powerful accessory. And in its place, in those Sky Islands, you'll now be able to find the Fledgling Wings. So that means that in all of the versions despite Journey Mode, you will now have a set of pre-hard mode wings, which once again seems like a very modded choice. I don't really know how I feel about this. I guess it doesn't really matter. You can pick what items you want to use and which ones you don't want to use. But I will say this, it's going to shake things up for Terraria, at least in the pre-hard mode. The Magma Stone now inflicts a special version of On Fire that deals 15 DPS instead of 4. The Flesh Knuckles / Berserker Gloves have had a defense increase from 7 to 8, and the Fire Gauntlet has seen its 10% damage and melee speed buff go to 12%, plus you get the benefits of the new Titan Glove buff and also the benefits of the Magma Stone buff we just talked about. Also, the Hero Shield, that's having a defense increase from 7 to 10. So this one's a bit of a mouthful. The Honeycomb, the Bee Cloak, the Honey Balloon, the Stinger Necklace, and the Sweetheart Necklace, so all of the bee generating accessories. The base damage of those bees generated has now been increased from 7 to 13. If using a Hive Pack, this damage is going to be 18. This damage is then multiplied by 1.5% in Expert Mode and 2 times in Master Mode. Additionally, if you're hit while wearing any of the accessories, the player gains the Honey buff for 5 seconds, so those have been buffed quite a lot. The Jellyfish Necklace and all of its tinkers now let off an extremely faint glow when out of water, but that is actually increased when you're in the water. The Lava Charm now has doubled spawn rate, giving it a 1 in 20 chance to be found in lava layer chests or lava crate fishing. The Molten Quiver has had a bit of a bug fix. Apparently now when you fire wooden arrows and those are converted to flaming arrows, you now get the proper +2 damage that the flaming arrows should have had. And then the Obsidian Rose has seen an increase in the lava damage reduction from 30 to 45. This change applies to all of its tinkers, however, as a consequence, lava damage has been moved to its own immunity timer, as this change would allow lava to very easily be reduced to 1 damage with a proper loadout. It is now a component of the Lava Waders, extending its lava damage reduction to the Lava Waders, Hellfire Treads, Terraspace Boots, and this change is retroactive for people that have already crafted these items. Panic Necklace has seen a bit of a buff. It's now got an increased duration of the panic buff from 5 to 8 seconds. And then in pretty big news, the Pygmy Necklace is now sold by the Witch Doctor in pre-hard mode. So this is actually a very big change. It now means that if you have the 40 gold to buy it, you can now have an extra minion slot as a summoner in pre-hard mode, which is pretty big news. So then finally, some absolutely huge news for accessories that generate stars. This includes the Star Cloak, the Bee Cloak, the Star Veil, and the Mana Cloak. The base damage of those stars generated has been moved from 30 to 75. These stars will also ignore up to 25 of an enemy's defense. This damage is then multiplied 2 times in Expert Mode and 3 times in Master Mode. So just to recap, it really seems like a lot of these accessories that people usually shrug off are actually going to be used to make Terraria a lot easier. So moving on, let's talk about Terraria Achievements. Now, you may remember back in July, I made a video theorizing some of the potential things we could see in the next update, and one of the things I spoke about was actually new achievements. Well, turns out we're getting those new achievements, as in the latest Terraria State of the Game post, we were provided with 15 new achievements, but they've been blacked out for obvious reasons. Now, I've been looking at this for a little while, and I think I've cracked a good number of them, but if you see one that I didn't mention and you probably know what it is, leave me a comment down below. That would be really helpful. So just on the top row, right in the middle, that achievement is probably for crafting a Zenith. The one next to that, I would say, is probably for using one of the theories that you find in a cavern, maybe even capturing one of those theories, maybe at one of those special logs. Next to that, that to me looks like the helmet from the fossil armor, so probably crafting a full set of that. I'm not too sure on the second row what the heart one may be. We do have an achievement for getting a life crystal, and we also have an achievement for maxing out both health and mana. So maybe it is time to just health, but that doesn't really seem right to me. Next to that is probably the Terraspace Boots. The one next to that looks a little bit like theories as well. I'm going to assume maybe Empress of Light, maybe. Next to that, it looks like a couple of the pets that we got in 1.4, so I would assume you get an achievement for having a town pet. Next to that is a fishing hook. Don't worry, it probably just means fishing during a blood moon. Probably doesn't mean 1,000 more quests. I don't think anybody can be dealing with that. And then on the bottom row, I would say that that one is probably from the Old One's army, since we don't have an achievement for that yet. I'd say next to that is flying a kite. I don't have a clue what that one is in the middle, but I feel like you lot would probably get that better than I would. Next to that is a chest. I would assume that is activating a dead man's chest. And then finally, I think we can all agree that that is a little gnome. So you probably get that for bringing a gnome to the surface. All in all, really good achievements. I like them. We did have a hint that one of them would be maybe playing a particular song on guitar, so maybe one of the achievements I don't really recognize might relate to that, but honestly, I'm just guessing. You know what? Thinking about it now, that one in the upper left is more than likely Queen Slime, but I don't know what the other three are. So that sums it up for Terraria 1.4.1. We'll more than likely see a couple more spoilers before the update is actually out. Loki did say it was close though, so I would probably assume it might be coming before the end of the year, but look, hey, that's my guess. So let's move on to console Terraria. This is where things get extremely interesting and very exciting, and I have to be careful with what I want to say because I don't want to offend anybody. But what we learn is that development for console Terraria and Switch Terraria is actually being moved from Pipeworks over to DR Studios. And for those that don't know, Pipeworks was the team that took console Terraria from 1.2. They redeveloped it and released it as 1.3 and then carried it to 1.3.5. Now, DR Studios, on the other hand, is the studio that took mobile Terraria from being an absolute joke to something that is extremely well designed and well polished, that offers all of these customization features and just runs an absolute dream. And that's why I don't want to offend anybody, because no disrespect to Pipeworks at all. I'm really grateful for what they did for our community as a whole, but DR Studios are fast and they're effective, and I feel like if we were to have an estimated release date on 1.4 for console, knowing that it is DR Studios, it's going to be a lot quicker than anything we had before. And that is quite honestly the truth. We know that mobile 1.4 is very far into development, and taking that and just applying it to a different system is going to be a lot easier than a studio that's still working with 1.3.5. So this news actually does blend into mobile Terraria, as we did learn that DR Studios have confirmed that mobile 1.4 has now moved into the beta part of development, which means that all of the beta testers now have a build of it on their phone, and they're playing through and they're trying to catch any single bug or glitch that comes up. DR Studios then fixes it, they come out with a new build, and you know how that cycle goes. But I will say this, knowing that DR Studios are able to say, hey, we're in the beta phase, it just fills me with confidence that mobile fans have got a lot to look forward to. And that's all I want to say. So once again, right at the end, I did mean no disrespect to Pipeworks Studios in the slightest. In fact, you have my utmost respect. It's not easy to deal with the console community at all, and responding to a million emails a day asking when 1.3 is coming out. It's a lot to handle. I want to give a personal shout out to Zach and Liz. You two absolutely stole the show. I was so grateful for those Terraria live streams and those fun little update videos you used to do. I thought it was great. Now, Pipeworks did leave a statement about this, and you can read that. I'll leave it linked down below. It's part of the State of the Game post, so if you want to check it out, and of course, share them a little bit of love on social media if you feel like you want to. All right. That is it for the big recap. Turns out to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I just want to say thank you for sticking with the channel. I know I've not been very present recently, but like I've spoke about on my second channel, I did unfortunately have something go on behind the scenes. It wasn't too pleasant, and that did keep me away from this channel. So, you know, it's not great, but it's getting better. Okay, have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon for some more Terraria videos. Peace.